for joining us today. My name is Ann Cosma, and I'm one of the Educator Innovation Leads on Team Flip at Microsoft. And today we are so excited to help kick off Teach Graphix Week with a special discussion featuring incredible authors and graphic artists. Teach Graphix Week is all about celebrating how the power of graphic novels have the ability to help motivate kids to read and, of course, be creative too. Now, in collaboration with our friends at Scholastic, we know that Teach Graphix Week encourages students to write and also create their own stories. And this year, the theme of Teach Graphix Week is Read Out Loud. And we are so lucky because today we get to meet 4 incredible authors and hear them read out loud from their graphic novels. We'll meet them in just a minute. But first, be sure to have your drawing materials ready, because guess what? We are going to get to sketch with these authors and hear some of their pro tips for bringing their books and their characters to life. Of course, we're going to ask them questions. We'll take a selfie with them too. We'll celebrate creativity and, of course, celebrate reading out loud. So friends, we would love to have you say hello in the chat. Let us know where you're tuning in from. Share a shout out to your school or your district. And if you're sharing on social, be sure to tag us using @MicrosoftFlip. Use that hashtag #TeachGraphix and tag our friends at Scholastic Teachers too. Now in the chat, I already see folks tuning in from Tunisia, Idaho. Bonjour to our friends across the ocean. We have book club friends in New York too, and friends down in Ecuador. We are so glad you all are joining us to celebrate Teach Graphix Week. All right. Are you all ready? It's time to meet our guests. I am so excited. First up, we have an incredible author. Please help me welcome Jarrett Krosoczka.
Hey,
Jarrett.
man. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I am so proud of you. You said my last name correctly.
Listen, it's a great last name. So, Jarrett, I'd love for you to tell a little bit about yourself to our audience.
Sure. My name is Jarrett Krosoczka. I'm a graphic novelist, and I write and draw. I live in Massachusetts with my family, and I have about 45 or so books published. Some people might know me from the Lunch Lady graphic novels or some of my early picture books, or my newest book, which is called Sunshine.
An incredible book indeed, Jarrett. We are thrilled to have you joining us today. Thank you so much. All right, folks, we have another incredible author to welcome. Let's say hello to Jamar Nicholas. Hey, Jamar.
Hey, Ann, how are you? It's great to see you.
Welcome, welcome. We're so glad to have you joining us, Jamar.
Thank you so much. I'm proud to be here. Thanks.
Oh, well, we're so happy. Would you mind sharing a little bit about yourself to the audience?
Sure. I am a proud Philadelphian. If you've ever been to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, you may fall in love with it as I have. If you like sports, creativity, cheesesteaks, and saying words that no one else does, you'll love it here. I am the author-illustrator of Leon the Extraordinary, a really cool series at Scholastic. Leon Extraordinary is out in stores now. The next book in the series, and Leon, Worst Friends Forever, will be out next summer.
Oh my gosh, I love it. Well, definitely an extraordinary character. It sounds like some lessons in friendship are coming up too. I wonder. Thank you, Jamar. We're so glad to have you here.
Thanks.
All right, folks, we have another talented guest to welcome. I am so excited. Please help me say hello to Maria Scrivan. Hi, Maria.
Hi, Ann.
How are you?
Thank you. And thank you for saying my last name correctly, too. I'm doing great. I am the author-illustrator of the Not Enough series. So this is the 4th book in the series, and the 5th one, All Is Not Lost, which is actually about a class trip to Philadelphia, comes out this spring. And then I'm working on book 6. I live in Connecticut, not very far from New York City.
Oh my gosh. Well, hey, maybe there's a Philadelphia theme already going on this morning, but
I think
it's so awesome to have you not only just share with us today, but also I cannot wait to hear you share from your Nat series. Thank you, Maria. All
thank
right,
you.
folks. Now, last, of course, but not least, we have a talented, incredible author joining us. I am so excited to welcome Jennifer L. Holm. Hi, Jenny.
Hi, Anne. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm so excited to have you join us today.
Well, I'm thrilled to be here. I'm streaming into you from Southern California, but I think we do have a Philadelphia connection because I create the Sunny series with my brother Matt. He's the illustrator and I'm the author. And the new book is Sunny Makes Her Case. That's coming out in March. But we also grew up in Pennsylvania, just outside of Philadelphia, and that's where the Sunny books take place. So we are huge fans of soft pretzels in our family.
I love this. Okay, we already have a theme going on today. So, folks tuning in, this is such an incredible opportunity. And shout out to your brother, illustrator Matthew Holm. So, hi, Matthew. We're so excited to share this time with Jenny today and celebrate your book. But this is such a treat. I cannot believe I have all four of you here to celebrate Teach Graphix Week. This is going to be a truly fantastic celebration. And folks, I mentioned Scholastic's theme for Teach Graphix Week this year is Read Out Loud. And we're so lucky to have you all joining us today because you all are going to be reading out loud from your books. And I'm ready to sit back, relax, and get this party started. Are y'all ready to do some reading out loud?
For sure.
Okay,
Sure.
Awesome. Jarrett, you are first up, so take it away.
Okay, so I'm going to be reading aloud from my book. It's called Sunshine, and the subtitle reads How One Camp Taught Me About Life, Death, and Hope. And this is a graphic memoir. Memoir being it's a story about my life that really happened. And I'm going to read to you from the prologue. And remember, when you're reading a graphic novel, that the words and the pictures tell the story. So when you open up the book, the first page you see, there's no text on that first page. But the story begins here with the imagery. I'm going to turn the page and start reading. I was 16 when I first worked at a camp for kids with life-threatening illnesses. It forever changed the trajectory of my life. Just about everyone who asks me about the experience seems to have the same knee-jerk reaction. It must have been so sad. But that could not be further from the truth. I mean, a camp for pediatric cancer patients shouldn't be sad. Those kids already have enough to deal with. No, camp was happy. The happiest place I've ever been. It was a space where illness didn't define the campers while they defied their diagnoses. It was uplifting, celebratory. The kids I met weren't dying. They were living life to its fullest. All these years later, there isn't a day that goes by when I don't think of them. When I was 16, I lived with my grandparents. They had been raising me since I was a toddler. They were supportive of me going to Camp Sunshine in their own way. I just don't see the point in going. You sure you want to do this? Definitely. But isn't it going to be depressing? I doubt that. You doubt that. I can't see how it wouldn't be. All those little kids at this camp, they got cancer? Well, not all of the kids are diagnosed with cancer. I mean, the siblings of the sick kids don't have it, and they won't all be little. There's a group for teens as well. I just picture all those bald heads, all the breathing tubes, wheelchairs, and crutches. What kind of activities can you even have with such frail kids? How will they load up the oxygen tanks in the canoes? I'm sure the camp has figured out appropriate activities, Grandma. There was always a lot that went unspoken in our house, including my grandparents' experience with their own son's cancer. Their eldest, Joey, he had been diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma when he was in his early 20s, well before I was born. There were only two things they ever said about the experience: that the treatment prevented Joey from ever fathering his own children, and that the day he was diagnosed was the only time my grandmother had ever seen my grandfather cry. Well, kiddo, if you intend to make it up to Maine, we'd better get going to school for you to catch the van. I love you, Grandma. I love you more. To the moon and back. You be careful, okay? I will. I put on a brave face for my grandmother. She worried about everything, but truth be told, I had no idea what to expect from the coming week. It was a long tradition in my high school for seniors to volunteer for a week at Camp Sunshine, and everyone wanted to go. The jocks, the theater geeks, the AP nerds. There was a limited number of open slots, and about 100 kids had crammed into that first meeting to sign up for the fall 1994 sessions. The faculty advisors did what they thought was fair. They chose names from a hat. My name was one of the few chosen. Time and chance had picked me up and placed me here. And then we go to the title page. While there is no words for the story on the title page, again, the story is advanced with the imagery. And that is the end of the prologue.
This is such a poignant and powerful story, Jarrett. Thank you so much. Not only, I know, inspired by your experiences growing up at this camp, but dealing with, sensitive material and life and death. And wow, poignant and powerful. And it's so moving to get to hear you read aloud from Sunshine.
Well,
thank you so much.
Thank you.
Also, it's really cool to be able to hear you bring the characters to life through your voices. So I know that's a special part of reading out loud. And I hear characters in my heads all the time. My heads, plural, like all the heads, right? I have one head. I hear those voices in my head. And I imagine readers out there, are just kind of so excited right now to hear you, especially your grandma and grandpa's voices too.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Oh my gosh, that's so awesome. Thank you, Jarrett.
Thank you.
Well, folks, this is so cool. This is so special. We get to hear from all four of these authors as they read aloud today. And next up, Jamar Nicholas is going to be reading out loud. Hey, Jamar.
Yo, what's up, Anne?
All right. Are you ready? I know folks cannot wait to hear from Leon the Extraordinary. Take it away.
Yeah, let's do it. So I'm excited to share a little bit of Leon Extraordinary with you. What I love about Leon is that he is an ordinary kid. And what I'm going to read to you is an excerpt from the beginning of the book where we see Leon in his natural habitat, his dirty room. And I know a lot of kids and adults out there can agree with sometimes having not a great clean room. So I wanted to show that as a bit of his character. So I am going to, or you can see me here. I am going to start here where we see Leon waking up in his pretty dirty room. I drew some of this from experience. I was notorious for having a really dirty room. So if we can look around on the page right here, we can see some pretty dangerous looking bricko bricks on the ground, some sneakers, just things that I can't even make out here. And probably the biggest things we see is the alarm clock going off. And I know a lot of us can relate to that. Beep, beep, beep. Leon wakes up with a big, So next we see Leon coming from the shower, walking through his hallway. Why does it have to be so early? Next we see Leon going into his bedroom closet where we see a lot of green clothes. Maybe green's one of Leon's favorite colors. What do you think? Still dripping wet, we see Leon looking for what he's going to wear today. Which uniform should I pick today? Everybody loves a classic look. So also before we go into that, there's some really interesting things going on in this closet. We see some of his clothes, his outfits. Then there's some goggles on the shelf and also a bunch of boxes of bricko brick. For any builders out there who love to make things out of bricks, I never throw away the boxes. All right, so let's turn the page. So we see my favorite part, the hero setup. Connect. We see Leon put on his utility belt. He says, utility belt equipped. Goggles, goggled. That means it's time for business. And then over here, we see him looking in the mirror in his closet at a pretty heroic figure. Looking extraordinary and ready to face another week of 5th grade. Nothing can stop me, not even Clementine. Hope she's out sick today. At least I'll have Carlos with me. I better go meet up with him before we're late. So that's my little excerpt. Just wanted to show you a little bit about Leon's routine, and we all have routines. And I know we all start our days maybe a little different, but they're really all the same. And I really wanted Leon to connect with kids to make you feel like he could be you or you could be him. Thanks, Anne.
Jamar, I love that. And I think Leon does really connect because so much of this is set in a school setting, the friendship dynamic, the interactions with people at school, the influence of family and finding your powers inside. I love this. Leon is extraordinary indeed. And I can't wait for the next book to learn about those lessons in friendship. Jamar, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Oh my gosh, it's so awesome. Friends, I have the biggest smile on my face. Can you tell? I love getting to hear these incredible authors read out loud. And next up, I am so excited to welcome back Maria Scrivan, who is going to be reading from Nat for Nothing. Hi, Maria.
Hi.
All right, take it away.
All right, so Nat for Nothing, Natalie needs to find an activity. Her best friends, Flo and Zoe. Zoe has volleyball, Flo has puppetry, and I'm just going to show this sneak peek. Here's Natalie looking at the activity board, and nothing really feels like her. So I'm going to read a few pages. Okay. Natalie says, "What's up, Flo?" Backward day is a flop. Besides you and Zoe, the only person who participated was Sean. And he's mad because wearing his pants backward was a bigger problem than he realized. I wonder what went wrong. Do you think it was my sign? What's a draw cab yad? Ew. Oh, Argyle participated too. Nope, I think we're... Hi, Argyle. Nice to meet you. Why is her name Argyle if she has dots? Argyle's her middle name. She only uses dots on her passport. Anyway, I only raised $5, which means I'm $494.75 short. Back to the drawing board. Hey, Nat. I made the volleyball team and I'm co-captain. Congratulations. We have practice every day and we get to travel to meets. Hey, co-captain. See you at practice. See you there. Lily is your co-captain? I was about to tell you. You said to ignore her. I can't. We're co-captains. It's not like we're best friends. We're just teammates. Okay. Oh, and one more thing. The volleyball table's in the back of the lunchroom. Okay, thanks. You're having lunch with Lily too? I need to get to know the team. I thought we were a team. Maybe you should find a club, Nat. What do I need a club for? Hey, Flo, you want to have lunch together? We can't. The puppet club is sitting together so we can practice talking with our hands, which is tricky on pizza day. Okay, see you later. Later. And now my best friends are ditching me. We prefer backpacks, not front packs at Midway. This guy is no fun at all. And then here's Natalie left all alone at lunch.
There are so many poignant lessons about life and friendship in here. But that point about the puppet club practicing their skills and being really hard on pizza day, so many funny, witty little things inside your book as well. It's so awesome to get to hear you read out loud.
That was fun. Thank you.
Oh my gosh, we're so glad to have you. Thank you. And folks, I'm so excited to welcome Jenny back, who is going to be reading from her incredible series, the Sunny series. And I know this is the first one, but you're going to be showing maybe from a brand new book that's coming out.
This is you guys are getting the super sneak peek. This book isn't even published yet. You are the first kids in the world to see this book. It's coming out at the beginning of February. And in this Sunny book, Sunny, she's not very athletic, and she wants to join a club. And so she and one of her best friends, Arun, decide to make a debate team with just the two of them. And there's some trials and tribulations of even getting a teacher to sponsor the team. But finally, they get a teacher. And Sunny doesn't know anything about debating because she's never debated. So I'm going to read you a little bit about the very first debate meeting. Sunny makes her case. Okay, so this is after school, and she's with Arun, her friend, and their debate coach, Mr. Roy. And he says, "We're going to have our first debate today. The two of you will be debating candy." Candy? Yes, you're going to debate which candy is the best. And when you're done debating, we can eat it. Okay. All right, pick a piece of candy to defend. I'll give you 10 minutes to work on your points. So Sunny looks around. 10 minutes later, who wants to be up first? You can go, Sunny. Okay. I chose bottle caps. Ba-ba. First of all, they come in a lot of tasty flavors, so you have a choice. Second, they're bottle caps. Pretty cool, right? Most candy has boring shapes, but not bottle caps. That's why bottle caps are the best candy. Not bad. Arun? Gobstoppers are clearly the superior candy. It's not that they last forever, although I haven't personally timed eating one. It's because you can't just bite into one like a lollipop. You have to suck on it for a long time. It teaches you patience, which builds character, which is why gobstoppers are clearly the superior candy. Later. How did your debate go? I should have picked the gobstopper. That's Sunny makes her case.
Jenny, I think this is going to influence a lot of opinion writing, maybe some candy tasting.
I brought candy today to eat while we...
I love it. I think this is so cool to get to be among like the first in the world to hear you read aloud from your new book, Sunny Makes Her Case. That is so special. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Oh my gosh, folks. All right. This has been such a treat. Now, listen, we love all of these graphic novels and the way that the illustrators, the illustrations are bringing the story to life, and these authors and artists. And I know Jenny tag teams with her brother Matthew. The way that these pictures add context to graphic novels helps sparks all of our imagination. And I want to talk about imagination for a moment and the power of pictures, the visuals that these authors and illustrators add to their graphic novels. And we're going to have a little bit of fun with some silly sketches and hear some pro tips from our guests. But friends, I have to point this out. I'm not a brain scientist, but as a classroom teacher, I always talked with my students, and as a coach, I talked with fellow teachers about something called dual coding theory. And this is how visual and verbal information is used to represent information. And this is really cool because it's how the left part and the right part of our brain uses pictures and words to make meaning. And I love this because each of us learns a little bit differently, all in our own unique way. Some use words, some use pictures to help make meaning. But in these awesome graphic novels, the words and the pictures come together to make the stories come alive in such powerful ways. So I'm going to invite our author friends to sketch along with me and then share some pro tips to help all of our readers and graphic artists out there perhaps see how to break down drawings into simpler steps and maybe help folks get past an I can't draw mindset. So friends, how about it? Are you up for like a silly 60-second sketch with me? Oh, Jarrett, that's like, yeah, everybody like
fire up your pen.
Okay, folks out there, get your papers ready, your pencils, your pens, whatever it is you've got. And we are going to draw along with these graphic authors and artists and have some fun. So something all of these graphic novels have in common, they each have interesting and unique characters. So we are going to draw facial expressions. I'm going to turn the page and get a fresh sheet of paper, but literally in the next 60 seconds, we want you to draw. And we are going to draw too. Fill your paper with as many faces or expressions as you can, whether they are sad, silly, serious, just draw. And then after 60 seconds are up, we are going to share our sketches with you, and our author friends will share some pro tips on how they illustrate or bring their characters to life through these expressions. All right, folks, are you ready? Cue the music. Okay. Everybody out there drawing, right? Oh, we're getting close on time. We are getting close on time, folks. This is so cool to get a peek into your offices and studios and sketch along with you. Oh my gosh, so cool. Okay, time's up, everybody. Time's up. This is awesome. Time for the big reveal. And I'd love to hear any advice you have for the readers and illustrators out there. Jamar, what's a pro tip you can share with us?
Don't forget that most of us have eyebrows. Eyebrows are a really great hack to make your characters more interesting. Don't forget to draw eyebrows.
Eyebrows. Now that reminds me, I forgot some right here, so I needed to. Maria, let's hear a pro tip from you.
I make the expressions first before I draw them. So if I'm worried or sad, the only one I can't do is confused, where you can raise one eyebrow. I had a friend in school who could do that. I can't do it. But I try and act it out first, whether it's a visual thing or even body movement. If I act it out, it helps get the position in place.
It was like mic drop. I love that. Act it out. Use your own countenance as, inspiration, and you're drawing the expression first. That's awesome to hear. Jenny, I would love to hear any insights you have. Oh no, hang on. We can't hear you. Jenny, come back.
I think my best advice, so I can draw a little bit, but my best advice is to get your little brother to do all the drawing for you. So that's what I do. And you know what? It's working pretty well. So get your little sibling there.
I love that. You know, teamwork makes it all happen and come together, right? So shout out to your brother, incredible illustrations. And Jenny, that's how I feel too. I'm not the most expert, but trying our best, right?
Exactly.
Oh my gosh. Okay, Jarrett, any insights or pro tips?
Okay, so for me, I'm never worried about the nose or the ears or the hair when it comes to the character's facial expression. I'm just worried about the eyebrows, eyes, and the mouth. And one slight change in a line will give a completely different definition to the visual. So you might have a character that's angry or evil.
I love how even the smallest change can make such a big difference. That's great insight. Now, it's so cool to hear these ideas from you to help us all level up our own creativity. And I mentioned I'm not particularly talented as an artist, but I love to create. And I talk all the time about my 5-year-old niece. She just started kindergarten. Her name's Emery, and she's a very creative little girl. And we break down our drawings into smaller steps. Circles within circles become eyeballs. A rainbow or an upside down rainbow is a smile or a frown, right? So I was having fun sketching last night in preparation and kind of practicing, but the mouths, different eyes. I love like squiggles for the eyes to be worried, or a great big rainbow smile. I love it all. So thank you for drawing with me. I know that was kind of fun and silly and a frenzy of creativity, but I loved that. Thank you for sharing the ideas. Oh my gosh. Okay, folks, we have some amazing questions to ask our authors, and we're going to get to those in just a moment. But before we do, we want to take the opportunity to take a selfie with these authors. So everybody out there, get your cameras ready, gather in front of your screens, in your classroom, at home, wherever it is you are watching from. We're going to give you a few seconds to get set up before the countdown. Cue the music. I see a pet on screen. All right, everybody, let's take those selfies. Everybody say Teach Graphix Week. I'm going to give you a countdown. Here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Everybody smile. Oh my gosh, that's so cool. And Jarrett, we need to know about the dog's name. What's the dog's name?
This is Bella Carmela.
Hey, Bella Carmela. Oh my gosh, that was so awesome. I hope everybody out there is having as much of a great time as I am. And folks, we would love to see your selfies. So please feel free. Post them on your favorite social communities. Perhaps if you're on Instagram, tag us at Microsoft Flip. Tag our friends at Scholastic Teachers too. We have the authors' handles. Get them. Oh my gosh, Jenny, tell us about your cat.
This is Calpurnia. We call her Callie. She's going to be a little beat. Whoa! She's going to be for Halloween.
Oh,
and she usually likes her costume because we're training her. Every time we put it on her, she gets a treat. So cats aren't really as malleable as dogs, but we're doing our best.
Oh my gosh, I love this insight look into the furry family members in your families who are making their appearance on the show. Thank you so much for sharing them. All right, so I want to get to a few questions. I know the audience is so curious. And the question we're going to start with is, what do you love most about graphic novels? Perhaps writing them, creating them, or sharing them. And Maria, why don't we have you go first?
There's so many things I love about graphic novels, but one of my favorite things is that you can see the expression of every single person in the scene. So not only the main character, you can see everything that's going on around them. And I love humor so much. So graphic novels give me the opportunity to add things in the background so people want to read the books over and over again.
I love that so much. Thank you, Maria. Jenny, we'd love to hear from you.
I love graphic novels because I grew up reading comics and they were some of my favorite things. And I think what's great about graphic novels is they're kind of international. Like we don't even realize it, but for instance, like when we go to the airport, there's signs, that are told in comics. So it's kind of like really the international language. I love them.
Oh, that's a really great insight. I love hearing that. Thank you. Jarrett, we'd love to hear your response.
Okay, so reading comics when I was a kid, it had me fall in love with art, and then viewing art and making art, and then reading and then writing my own stories. As somebody who's making graphic novels, one of my favorite things to do is planning out the panels so that when you then get to the bottom, like right-hand page, like when you get to this bottom panel, like what are you going to reveal to the reader? So for instance, when the Jarrett character is first getting to the lake, instead of showing you the lake here, I make you turn the page, and I could play with the size of images.
Oh, that's a really, really cool insight. And the reveal and the turn of the page, I love that too. Jamar, we would love to hear your response.
One of the coolest things I love about creating graphic novels is, in a sense, that being an author and an illustrator, I'm also the director of the story I'm telling, and I can choose what to put in the story or what not to is sometimes just as important as what I put in. And seeing kids react to that with emotion, and also sometimes with just being really astonished on how you can draw so many pictures in one sitting and have it all in one book is really fulfilling to me. And I love to meet young kids who may want to be cartoonists when they grow up, as I wish those people were around when I was a kid.
Oh, that's so cool. Thank you for sharing that. And I love that directing the story, whether the inspiration is from your head, your heart, your life experiences, the humor, all of these. Thank you all for sharing those insights. Now, I have another question, and it's the same for each of you again. It's a quick round, rapid, response. Do you have a favorite place to read out loud? And let's see, Jenny, let's have you go first.
Well, I have a favorite place to have somebody read to me out loud, which is when I'm taking my daughter to school or bringing her home, she'll read graphic novels to me in the car. It's a good way to make the school run go faster.
Oh, that's so cool. I love that. Jarrett, how about you?
I have kids as well, and my happiest memories as a parent is reading aloud to them at bedtime, and that connects me to my childhood when my grandfather would read to me at bedtime.
I love that. The memories and how you continue them in your own bedtime read alouds with your family. Thank you. Jamar, how about you?
I love to read out loud in public where people don't really know why I'm doing that. So sometimes I'll stand outside with, I love reading the newspaper, or I might have a little book on me. And, sometimes I like to just get a reaction from people. So you might catch me in your neighborhood reading out loud on the corner.
I love that.
That's great.
And I hope I can catch one of those surprise performances in real life, maybe with a Philly cheesesteak in my hand.
That's right.
He uses them as a bookmark.
That can get messy. Oh my gosh. Maria, I'd love to hear. Do you have a favorite place to read aloud?
I love reading out loud at school visits. That's really fun for me.
That's so cool. Yeah, definitely a read out loud moment. And mine, when I was in the classroom with my first grade students, I loved sharing adventures through books. And now it is reading out loud to my niece, Emery, which is always so special. And Jarrett, I think, reminds me of my mom reading out loud to me as a kid growing up. So, oh my gosh, folks, I have the biggest smile on my face. This has been so much fun. I've loved getting to draw with you. I know everybody watching and listening has too. And no doubt they have big smiles on their faces as well. The time we've spent creating together and celebrating the power of words and pictures. For those of you listening in, we hope you keep creating and feel more inspired and motivated to create your own graphic novels and comics as well. Now, I have to ask, folks, do you have any final thoughts for everybody who is watching? Jarrett, we'll have you go first.
Okay, final thought. So I'm going to piggyback off of what Jenny said about listening in the car. There are so many audiobook adaptations now of graphic novels, and they're wonderful. They're full cast productions with sound effects. It creates a theater of the mind with all of the audio. So audiobook graphic novels, check them out.
Awesome. That is a great encouragement to try. Thank you. Jamar, we'd love to hear from you.
Even though I create stories about kid superheroes, I think we all have superpowers. And one of the best superpowers anyone can have is the power of reading, and also the power of sharing reading with others. So read out loud and max out your powers.
I love that. Read out loud and max out your powers. That's awesome. Thank you. Maria, any final thoughts?
Yeah, I'd actually love to hear your stories. I think one of the other powers of reading is being inspired to tell your own stories.
Oh my gosh, I love that so much. Yeah, telling stories and sharing and the power that that brings for connectivity and community. I love that, Maria. Thank you. Jenny, how about you close us out?
Well, I think, Halloween's coming up and everybody likes candy. So maybe think like Sunny and have a little candy debate in your classroom.
I love that. I love that. I'm holding all of your books because it's like a great big hug from me to you and the information. And thank you for sharing so generously from your stories and reading out loud to all of us. It has been an absolute honor to have you all here today and help the world celebrate Teach Graphix Week. Thank you for reading out loud to us, for drawing with us and helping bringing learning to life through your awesome stories and books. Thank you, folks. We appreciate your time.
Thank you. This was awesome.
Thank you
so much. This was great.
Oh,
Happy Halloween.
Yeah. All right, folks. So I mean, I have the biggest smile on my face. That was so incredible. And I hope you all enjoyed it as much as I did. Getting to read with these authors, hear them read out loud is truly special as they share their graphic novels. Now, remember, Teach Graphix Week lasts all week, and we would love to have you join thousands of others who are already sharing in Scholastic's Flip group. You can head to flip.com/teachgraphix to join the fun, and you're all invited to share. Our friends at Scholastic have 2 awesome flip topics ready. Teachers, let us know how you use graphic novels in the classroom. Families, share with us how you are using graphic novels in your own home or together as a family. You will see a contest that Scholastic is hosting, and your response will enter you for a chance to win a set of books from these featured authors. Join the fun, have your students, your family celebrate creativity and share their favorite read out loud location too. There are over 2,000 folks already in this group celebrating Teach Graphix Week, and you are all invited to join and add your response. Remember, it's as easy as heading to flip.com/teachgraphix to join right after this event or even later as you reflect on today's fun. We would love to hear from you, and stay tuned because you just might receive a response from your favorite Scholastic Teach Graphix Week author. And friends, even though we are wrapping up for today, remember we have flip events often. You can head to aka.ms/flip-events to find an upcoming adventure. And next up, we are excited to welcome Lily Singh, who will be talking about feeling big feelings as we explore mindfulness on October 19. And then save the date and join us on October 31st as we welcome Max Brawlier, author of the Last Kids on Earth series, for a Halloween extravaganza. Find all these events and more at aka.ms/flip-events. And friends, that's it for today. I'm your host, Ann Cosma, and on behalf of Microsoft Flip, our amazing guests, Jamar Nicholas, Maria Scrivan, Jennifer L. Holm, and Jarrett J. Krosoczka, and of course, our friends at Scholastic, I want to thank you for spending your time with us. Happy Teach Graphix Week, everybody!